Okay, so the question that I have today is about the protectors of Earth. So the question is, do the humans of Earth have protectors? And when I say that, I mean protectors of humans against things that are not from here or whatever. So that would immediately separate it from protectors from ourselves. So I'm specifically looking at non human. Well, I guess maybe that's not exactly true. So, does the human race on Earth have protectors of some kind against, like, the outside forces, we'll say? All right. So, the root card is the Fool. Okay. And over the top of that is a reversed Four of Wands. Wow, this is interesting. So, the Fool, the way that I'm reading this, the Fool is basically showing the possibility of there being well, I shouldn't say non human, because maybe they are human and they're like the Count of Saint Germain and they're fucking immortal or something, right? Ascended masters or whatever. So the Fool here shows the distinct possibility for that to be the case. Now, currently, we have a reversed Four of Wands above it. And the Four of Wands is this shared commitment, the shared commitment to the happy, harmonious space. Okay, so this is actually telling me something immediately. It's basically saying that the protectors that we could have share our space. So they are also here, or maybe from here. When this thing is reversed, then the commitment has been broken. Um, Fascinating. This would show the potential for protectors, but that the commitment has probably been broken. Now, because we share the space, I mean, the question would be who broke the commitment, but let's just see what's on either side of this. So we've got insult on one side and the hermit on the other. Hokey smokes. All right. So, an, an insulting energy led to the breaking of the commitment. And it moves forward to the hermit, and the hermit is like really finding out what is inside of us. What do we have inside? The hermit says we are full of gold and we are full of knowledge and creativity and all of that, and we basically have to remember that. If the hermit is referring to humans, and that's the way I'm reading it here. So it basically shows potential guardians, but it looks like something happened and the commitment was broken, and now it's time for humans to dig deep to see what they have within them. All right. Now with this, let's just see what the matter was. I guess it's going to be more about the connection between these two. And we get the high priestess. So this is secret, it is hidden, it is sacred. What else do we have coming out of this? Well, I mean, I'm kind of seeing the moon shape in the face of the high priestess, but there's not much. I mean, kind of the painted nails are, but I don't really know what that would mean. Um, but I guess what it would be talking about is a spiritual breach of contract with the protectors of Earth. So, hold on. I should say the protectors of humans on Earth. I have to be very specific in my wording because there's lots of things that live on this planet, and some may have different protectors than others. So, what I want to look at is how long ago did this breach happen? Did this happen, a fucking million years ago? Or did this happen in 2010 or what? So we get the Queen of Swords. Huh. Boy, as far as a timeline, that's a really difficult card to read. So I guess it's more of like an ever present trigger. And the Queen of Swords is anxiety. And there's kind of a vengeful side to the Queen of Swords. So this would be, I mean, I guess some sort of attack, a spiritual breach of contract born of anxiety and fear and maybe a little bit of vengeance. Huh. Now, I want to see how individual this is or how individual it can be. Because it could be that certain people that haven't breached their spiritual contract still have guardians. But let's see. There's actually two that wanted to come out. Well, I think there is a lot of environmental energy here. I was just trying to figure out if, a person not breaching their spiritual contract would still be okay. And with the Five of Wands, so we've got all these people fighting, neighbors fighting each other. And over here we have a reverse Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is like emerging from a restriction. And the reverse Seven is basically showing either going back into the restriction or kind of being trapped, not being able to find your way out. So the spiritual contract, it looks like it is broken when we fight each other. That actually makes a lot of sense to me. So if we were to stop fighting each other, then the other worldly guardians, they might not be otherworldly. Let's just see that. Are the guardians origin? Do they originate from Earth? Temperance card reversed. I think that it is showing that the energies have been blended. So to me, that would say, I mean, even if they're not from Earth, they've probably been here for a while. Our energies have been blended. And the Temperance card reversed is showing the blending like not working anymore. All right. So let's just see if there is an imminent threat that is coming that we would normally need these guys or things. And we get the Justice card. Well, an imminent threat coming. So the Justice card here is really showing an equilibrium. If there is a big threat coming, the Justice card would kind of say that we deserve it, I guess. It would be an equilibrium, a balance. Like what is put out is returned, that sort of thing. And what is surrounding it is a Three of Swords, which is heartbreak and betrayal, and also an Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is the ability to let go of old emotional crap. And maybe these are the two things that are hanging in the balance here. So is there an imminent threat? I guess that would kind of depend on people. I would guess that the Justice card in this case shows like a sentence is being carried out, or something like that, but the sentence will be fair. So I guess, what do people deserve? That's a tough one. That's a tough one to answer. All right. I feel like, I mean, what I'm kind of trying to find out is, I mean, what we can do to like help, you know, what we can do to protect ourselves. And what we get is reverse Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords, we do again get this division that shows up in the Two of Swords. So this is fighting with each other, or at least turning the attention toward that. It's also the lack of awareness that we're actually the same. Um, this thing being upside down would be no longer being locked in this deadlock, this division deadlock. This thing turning upside down would be more like understanding that we're actually one creature or something. Humans, I guess this is showing that we would not be as separate as it seems. So it does kind of go back to the message of just not feeding into division and not fighting with your neighbors. Um, and let's see. I just want to pull one more card for like ancestral energy because, you know, all cultures talk about ancestral guardians, and maybe they're the same, right? And maybe we've breached some contract with our ancestors, but let's just see if they are one and the same. And we get a Page of Wands, which is definitely unclear as far as that goes. So it's not an ancestor, though. The Page of Wands would not show me an ancestor. So I guess that's a no. It's a weird no. So, you know, the thing that sticks out to me is just the fact that the page is walking across this icy pond and it is like a treacherous place. And the page uses a very unorthodox method to cross the pond. And it's based on the page believing in himself and really working with his own unique skills and his own creativity. Um, this is something I was actually thinking about earlier today, but the Page of Wands, because the way they do things is like weird and different than other people, the Page of Wands kind of needs a certain amount of encouragement. So if the Page of Wands truly is surrounded by people that are telling him, you can't fucking do that, you can't use stilts to cross this pond, then the Page of Wands might eventually believe them or just not feel like anyone cares when they succeed. So as far as this goes, this might be just kind of an overall reminder to try to surround yourself with people who believe in you. And as we achieve our potential, I'm assuming that would keep people from fighting, right? People that are fulfilled and happy don't fucking fight with their neighbors. So that's what we get here. I would love to hear what you think about this. And peace.